I would like to introduce the next speaker. This is from the Charles University in the Czech Republic, who took care of organizing the FSDP projects, including the call, the general specifications, did a marvelous job. Yeah, so this is an insane amount of work. Jana Hamrlova will introduce this, and I would like to give the floor to her now. Jana, please.
Thank you, Georg. Good morning, everyone. I would like to introduce you yearly open call for SRIA contribution projects, pilot projects, and then the projects themselves will briefly introduce their results. Why we aimed to involve a pilot project into ELE2 project and to organize open call. Main motivation was to allow members of the wider European LT and Multilingual Europe community to join and contribute to the ELE2 project, namely to bring in externals, ideas and expertise to SRIA, but also to obtain other related materials for communication and dissemination purposes. We expected outcomes of pilot projects in form of clearly defined and potentially also implemented use cases and best practice examples in relevant industry sectors and areas of life, and supported activities, elaboration of feasibility studies, best practice guidelines, or deployment of language technologies aligned with the SRIA or supporting the SRIA elaboration. Before the open call was launched, the ELE2 consortium detected crucial parts of SRIA which would need to be extended or revised, and finally they selected 10 most demanded topics to which applicants could submit their proposals. These topics address various areas, data sets from robust speech technology, study of language coverage for text mining, and natural language understanding in key European industrial sectors, legal assessment, general NLP, LT-AI landscaping, general NLP, LT domains, analysis of AI and LT in European news media, computing facilities for language technology, greener models of machine translation, using of language technology in the hospital sector, and basic language resource kit. Now I would like briefly describe key parameters of the open call. So pilot projects could execute the following eligible activities: desk research and related activities, research activities, dissemination actions, and putting together best practice examples, and preparation and publishing of guidelines. Eligible applicants were research organizations, NGOs, incorporated associations, and companies legally established in EU member states. And the case selection criterion was a rigorous assessment of whether the proposed project will be able to continue in to contribute in significant way to the overall success and uptake of the strategic agenda. Also, innovativeness, impact, feasibility, and reasonability of the budget were evaluated. We distributed using financial support to third-party mechanism in total 185,000 euros, with the maximum amount of 25,000 euros per project. Funding rate was 90%, and financial support was provided in the form of lump sum. We expected duration of projects from 2 to 3 months. Preparation of the open call started immediately at the beginning of the yearly 2 project. In July last year, we prepared prerequisites, and then the open call was published on September 29 and closed on November 29, 2022. Then started evaluation of submitted project proposals. Each proposal was evaluated independently by 2 FSDP project board members. FSDP project board aimed to select at least 1 proposal for each topic, and then other proposals were selected for funding up to the remaining budget. In January this year, first projects started their execution, and in May, last pilot project finished their execution phase. All projects delivered reports and short video presentation of achieved results, which are available on ELE website. Project results were evaluated by the FSTP project board, and then after successful evaluation, payment to projects were processed, and integration of projects results to the new version of the SRI started and will be finished by the end of yearly 2 project. Now I would like to briefly summarize open call results. 36 proposals were accepted for evaluation from 24 different applying organizations from 15 EU member states, and project proposals were submitted on 9 different topics. No proposal was submitted to topic 3, legal assessment. Although FSTP project board aimed to select at least 1 project for each topic, due to lack of quality of some proposals, it was not always possible. So finally, FSTP project board selected 9 projects from 4 different topics for financial support. 5 projects were selected for topic 1, datasets for more robust speech technology. 1 project was selected for topic 5, general NLP-LT domains. 1 project for topic 7, computing facilities for language technology, and 2 projects for topic 10, basic language resource kit. So in this table, you can see overview of 9 supported pilot projects. I would like to thank to all project teams for participating in the open call and for delivering numerous useful and interesting results. And now I would like to ask project team leaders for presenting their projects. So I would like to ask Mirella de Sisto from Tilburg University to present project NGT-Dutch Hotel.
Thank you. Should I just yeah, here. Thank you. The goal of the NGT Oracle project was to build a parallel corpus of signed and spoken languages. The reason for creating such a corpus was that the lack of good quality data is strongly affecting and slowing down all kinds of progress or advancements into the field of language technology, which also targets sign languages and not only spoken languages. In fact, generally when we talk about language technology, we are not even including sign languages in the picture. If you want to know what is there for European sign languages, you can look at the deliverable on sign languages that was published on the ELE platform and see what is there, or rather what is not there. But so we decided to build this corpus, which focuses on the hospitality domain and more specifically on hotel reviews. The source language is written English, which was then translated into written Dutch, which was then translated into sign language of the Netherlands, so NGT videos. In order to ensure good quality on the NGT videos, we decided to only have deaf professional translators performing the translation task. And these ensured, or at least limited, the effect of the source language on the signing of the translators, and also ensured authenticity of the signing, because these translators were all L1 users of NGT. Currently, we are planning and working on expanding this corpus, adding also Flemish Sign Language, so VGT. And if you want to know more, or if you also want to understand more why we need this kind of data for language technology, please come to our roll-up banner. Thank you.
Presentation. I would like to ask Diego Alves from University of Zagreb to introduce project European Language Technology Domain 2024.
Yes. Hello everyone. My name is Diego Alves from University of Zagreb, and I'm here to present the European Language Technology Domains 2023 project. The main objective of this project was to map the usage of different natural language processing tools in different domains and languages, and also to identify the domains that use language technology less frequently or do not use it at all. So the output is a survey in the report of the mainstream usage of NLP tools, also with language-specific analysis that can be hopefully used by researchers in NLP community to develop new technologies and to improve language quality. So about methodology, the database is the ACL ontology corpus, focusing on texts published between 2010 and 2022. The list of languages, we considered all the languages that have a report update, yearly report update, 39 languages. In terms of domains, we took the list provided by the fields of research and development classification and included some ELE specific domains that were not in the fourth list. And in terms of NLP tasks, we used the list provided by the Oxford Handbook of Computational Linguistics, but we completed it with some Wikipedia other terms and IBM. We used a dictionary-based approach, meaning that we checked how many times these domains, NLP tasks, and languages are mentioned inside each research paper. First, we conducted like a language overview. We can see it repeats a little bit what has been presented before, as English being the most represented one, followed by German, French, Spanish. In terms of domains overview, we can see that there has been more focus in humanities and arts and social sciences, linguistics being the most present one because it's a computational linguistic data set, followed by business, educational, and government. And in terms of NLP tasks, we can see the focus has been in higher level NLP applications, especially because of machine translation, which is the most represented one. Then, as I said, we did language-specific analysis. Here I present the results for Maltese. Each language has one heat map, and as you can see, Maltese is quite empty. especially when we compare to German, which has a more populated heat map. Especially the column with the strongest color is the machine translation. As you can see, it's the tendency in the last 12 years. So in terms of conclusions, we presented this report that has this survey, present general analysis and language specific that can be used to compare languages and to really see what can be developed, what can be improved for each language, especially the low researched ones. And a complementary study can be conducted using other databases such as Web of Science or Scopus to complete not only focusing what has been done in the NLP community, but also how it's been used and how NLP is mentioned in other conferences. That's it, thank you. I hope to talk to you in the lunch section.
So, thank you very much for the presentation, and I would like to invite Gaurish Thakkar to introduce the second project from University of Zagreb, computing facilities for LT.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Gaurish Thakkar, and I'm presenting this pilot study on behalf of my team, which includes Professor Marko Tadic and Professor German Rigau. And the title is Computing Facilities for Language Technologies. So, computing experts and data form an important component of language technologies. And in this study, we concentrated on the computing facilities which are available for language technology researchers. Our study is divided into two parts. One is the machine-centric approach, which we perform a study of the machines or the high-performance computational facilities that are there. And the second one is the survey of the users that use these services. So to start with, we manually compiled various HPCs that are available in Europe based on Top 500, which is a website which lists top 500 HPCs in the world. Then we have PRAS, Euro HPC, and various other national HPC centers, national centers that were there. And we performed analysis, we collected and we performed analysis of these machines with the various aspects that I have in the next slide. And on the other hand, we had a survey that was shared via mailing list to kind of capture what exactly users feel or use. I mean, anything that is related to HPC usage in their daily life when they use it for language technology. So these are the various aspects that we analyze from the data. Like these are the slices which we analyze. For example, for the various HPCs, we identified the users, whether it's like academic user or SME, then whether the particular HPC facility is open for open research or commercial, then its category, where does it stand, whether it's like a European facility, a national facility, regional or a university, then how does it open its access, whether it's open call or via portal, and then various modes it opens, for example, just for benchmarking, development, regular access, or it asks for a large access. And then the final part is the hardware, like how many nodes, how many GPUs. We analyzed each and every aspect. And then we built a reference card, which is in general like a kind of a workflow for people trying to access or who wants to access a HPC. Yeah, and eventually, out of all the data that we had, we kind of come to a conclusion of the existing infrastructure. At the same time, we also have some recommendations which are kind of reflection of the problems that are there in this data. For example, the support for smaller experiments or the large time which is required if you're applying. Yeah, and pretty much that's it. Hope to see you at our poster session, at our poster for me to show more details about this. Thank you.
So, thank you very much. we can move to project the BLARK for minority languages in the era of deep learning, expertise from academia and industry. I would like to ask Sofía García from imaxin software to present the project.
So, hello everyone, it's a big pleasure being here. I'm going to present the project of a BLARK for minoritized languages in the era of deep learning. So the main objective of our project was to update the BLARK to the deep learning era. And to that end, we have analyzed what are nowadays the key language technology resources in the area of deep learning, taking advantage especially of the information available in the European Language Grid catalog. With this information, we have created a BLARK matrix that covers all these basic resources and tasks. And we have evaluated them taking into account 3 different parameters: quality, quantity, and license. With all this information, we have provided language technology experts with a wide covering and flexible BLARK to evaluate the development of minoritized languages in language technology field. This is the layout of our BLARK. It is divided into 2 main sections: cross-cutting resources and language technology tasks. Each of these sections is also divided into several subsections. And as you can see in the 2 tables below, in the case of cross-cutting resources, each subsection entails several resources that are evaluated, as I said before, taking into account the size, the quality, and license of each resource. And in the case of tasks, they are evaluated taking into account the available corpora and models. So some conclusions and limitations after doing this project are that we have tested this BLARK in Galician. The results are available in our report, but it needs to be validated with other minoritized languages that we hope it happens soon. This BLARK needs to be continuously updated, especially nowadays that this field is continuously changing. And we think that this tool is only usable by NLP experts that are the only ones with the information necessary to fill in this matrix. And that's all. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Sofía, for your presentation. Now I would like to ask Andrés Piñeiro from Balidea company to introduce project building E2 spoken language understanding systems for virtual assistants in low resources scenarios.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Andrés Piñeiro Martín. I'm part of the company Balidea, but I'm also part of the multimedia technology group of the University of Vigo. I'm here to present our project. Just a little bit of background. Balidea is a company in the information technology sector, which together with the University of Vigo has been working on projects for communication with the digital world through virtual assistants in Spanish and in Galician mainly. On the other hand, SLU systems are a key component on these voice-based virtual assistants, and Balidea and the University of Vigo have experience on developing virtual assistants for e-health, for telemedicine, or for e-government. And it has been in these projects where we have faced the problem of developing such systems where there is not enough data available, especially for the case of Galician. So our project and our report aim to contribute to the European language equality by providing guidelines on how to create and how to design data sets and voice collection campaigns for end-to-end SLU, but mainly or basically for speech data, ensuring the quality and the validity of the collected information. In the dataset we have collected, the dataset we have collected, it's a huge step forward for Galician language, a low-resource language, and the success of the campaigns is such that we have have been able to obtain the largest publicly available data set for SLU, above languages such as English, Chinese, or French. We have obtained more than 250 hours of recording with almost 12,000 participants. And in short, our project presents the guidelines of a success story from which other European languages in a similar situation could benefit. So do you want to know how we did it? We invite you to visit our roll-up, and we will be delighted to show you guys the whole details of the project. Thank you so much. See you later.
So, thank you, Andrés, for interesting presentation, and we can move to project Multilingual and Mixed Language Data for Inclusive Speech Technology. I would like to ask Seza Doğruöz from Universiteit Gent to present the project.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Jana, and nice to meet you finally in person. So this project, the title is Multilingual and Mixed Language Data for Inclusive Speech Technologies. Let me give a little bit of a background. There are millions of multilingual speakers who speak more than one language and mix them for daily communication around the world and in Europe. It's very normal to do that. However, current language technologies are mostly built from monolingual assumptions, and they ignore the variation and diversity among different types of users and speakers. So this project aims at building a multilingual and mixed language speech data set in Belgium. So the goal was, again, a little bit of background information. Belgium is a multilingual country with 3 official languages, Dutch, French, and German. And English is very widely spoken as well. However, there are also other languages spoken by immigrant communities. And this project focused on collecting conversational and mixed language data, namely Turkish, Dutch, and some English in Belgium, because, again, everybody speaks English, so our data also included some English. So the outcomes of the project are the following. We collected free conversations, natural conversations on different topics. It's about approximately 10 hours of data between 20 speakers in pairs from the target group, and we audio recorded them. There are no automatic tools to transcribe the mixed language used in these language pairs. In general, mixed language conversations are very difficult to transcribe, so we went back to the basics. The recorded conversations were transcribed manually according to the transcription guidelines developed for the project, which included also training the research assistants for these transcriptions, and we have to have several meetings around these trainings. The project contributes to the multilingual and mixed language data collection for speech technologies in Europe and aligns with the language equality principles of the strategic agenda of ILE. And these are the references from my prior research. If you're interested in mixed language technologies and languages, please have a look at them, and I'll be around in the afternoon as well if you have any questions. I would like to thank Andy and the rest of the consortium members who were very helpful during the process, because this is a very difficult data set to collect and also to process, because it's not just collecting the data and transcribing it, but it involves training and lots of issues around privacy. And Jana, who was very responsive to my different questions all the time. So I'll be around if you have more questions. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Seza, for your presentation. And I would like to ask José Miguel Herrera from Pangeanic company to introduce project generation of large speech corpus for Spain languages using data augmentation.
Thank you, Jana. Hello, my name is José Miguel Herrera. I'm going to present generation of a large speech corpus for Spain language using data augmentation. The main goal of this work was to generate a guideline for building an extensive speech dataset with transcription of Spanish language through audio data augmentation techniques. So we define some tasks. First, we create a guideline, of course, that is the core of this project. Then we create a corpus of speech data about Spanish language, this for Galician, Catalan, Asturian, and Basque. And finally, we apply this guideline, including that augmentation, to one of them, in this case, Asturian. So we define a pipeline. The pipeline consists first in data collection, get text segment, and then we need to recruit native speakers in order to record this text segment. Then we apply data augmentation, and we use these 5 techniques: speed up, speed down, background noise, Gaussian noise, and distortion noise. We can use one of them, or we can combine them. Okay. And finally, the output could be in a JSON file or a TSV file. So in order to test this pipeline, we use in a real case. So to do that, in the data collection, we do scraping in a lot of web page and a lot of social media web page. And then we recruit 55 native speakers in order to record this text segment, 32 females and 23 males. And they generate 182 hours of audio, and including the metadata of that audio. It means the duration, the age range, and the gender. And here's the table of all of the language. And regarding the data augmentation, we apply data augmentation for the Asturian language, and we can augment it in 20 times. Okay. So the language, the speech data here, and the augmented data of Asturian, and also the script to generate the data augmentation is available right now in ELG. So the final delivery was the guideline, of course, the PDF report, and we include the experience. We have some problems, and we explain in that report the challenges, some suggestions, and also the analysis of the parameters of the data augmentation techniques. And as I mentioned previously, we include the dataset for Spanish language, the script, and data augmentation in Asturias are available in ELG. Thank you very much.
Thank you, José, for your presentation, and we can move to the last project, Artificial Intelligence Data Kit 2030. I would like to ask Světláková from Institute for Bulgarian Language, Professor Luborin Andrés, to present the project.
Thank you very much, Jana. The aim of our project, Artificial Intelligence Data Kit 2030, was to analyze how a BLARK, Basic Language Resource Kit, should be modified in the era of artificial intelligence and the development of large language models. Our analysis was based on analyzing prominent large language models and large language datasets. Also study on trustworthy research starting from the European language equality reports and findings, and expanding to scientific publications, surveys, and national organizational strategies, and also on interactions with representatives of artificial intelligence and language technologies companies in Europe. Our results actually was that we should define several criteria for large language models, such as quantity, which could be understood as large amounts of data covering different languages, media types, topics, genres, also thematic domains, and so on. Second criteria is diversity, which is achieved by using different sources. For example, web news, also code, patents, video or audio records. Quality means that data in large language datasets should be cleaned, such as they not to contain reduplication and subsumption of samples, and also should be without biased and toxic data. And in the end, we propose that large language datasets should have a structure. For example, data samples and the extracted metadata should be organized in a conceptual graph. To conclude, BLARK is relevant, still relevant for languages which we can define as under-resourced languages, but on the other hand, for both high-resourced and under-resourced languages, new standards should be established for the large language datasets. Thank you very much for your attention.
So thank you, Svetla. I would like to thank once more to all pilot projects for their interesting presentation. And if you would like to learn more about projects, you are welcome to meet the pilot project team at Project Expo during a lunch break.